I guess when you guys were in Washington the other night, Danny said there was a chance Travis Konechny could be back for this game. Do you know if he's going to be available for tonight?
No.
Okay.
No, he's out. Or
He's out. Don't ask me questions about lineups. I'm not giving to you anymore, all right?
You've talked about, you were complimentary of Nick Seeler the other day, and I know he's obviously leading the league, I think, still in block shots. How much of that is a willingness to do it, and how much of it is just having hockey sense to get in front of him?
It is, well, he has hockey sense. But that is 99% balls and willingness. That's what he does. It's some of the things I watch him on tape, and I don't appreciate it enough when it's going on in the game because there's so many other things. But when I watch tape and see the positions he puts himself in for the team, it's just fantastic.
Have you seen him maybe take a proactive approach in helping some of the young players to do that, whether it's blocking shots or maybe just anything in general, just kind of serving as a mentor?
Yeah, again, I'm not in the room watching him interact with those guys, but I'm sure people are going to him. You can't help but gravitate to a guy like that as far as what he gives to this organization and just what he gives each and every night. So I'm sure that's going on.
With regards to Tyson Forrester, obviously he was kind of the big hero on Saturday. We talked a little bit after the game about that you look for him, that you've grown into looking for him. But as a coach, how do you keep in your mind that he is still a rookie and that you don't necessarily want to overload him and put too much pressure on him, given the fact that he is, in a way, still learning the ropes?
Yeah, you keep that in mind, but everything I've thrown at him, he's handled. A rookie, yeah, this is his first year. The way he carries himself, the way he's handled all the situations he's been put in, hasn't blinked. If we feel we're hurting him and there's some mistakes in his game or something's going wrong with his confidence, sure, we look at that. Hasn't come close to that, even when he was struggling scoring. That's what we need to have just a few second talk on how he was handling himself when he wasn't scoring, because I think he was showing some frustration and I think letting it get out of hand. That's the only conversation I've had with him as far as what it is to be a pro and how to handle these types of things I'm throwing him in. That's the only time. We certainly watch it with young guys. I don't think I have to worry about that with him.
With regards to his scoring, you watching from the outside, do you think that it is just increased confidence, or has he made changes to his game in terms of the places he's getting to on the ice, the deception of the shot, things like that?
No, he's been there all year long. It might be a question for him in his thinking, changing an angle on a shot. I don't get too deeply involved in that. He played in the areas when he wasn't scoring. A little bit snake bitten, some blocked. It was just one of those things. I think for a young kid to go through that when you're here basically because of the way you played the prior year for the few games, right? He scored. We were hoping it was going to happen right away. That's added pressure for him. And after just a in the hallway passing conversation about it, he's handled himself really well, and I don't think has changed a whole much as far as what I watch on tape, as far as the areas that he's playing in.
John, with Mark Stahl, you said you guys were very upfront with him at the start of how, sometimes he might sit because a kid might play. He's been playing a lot more lately, and I'm sure just because of his contract and his experience, some contending teams might be interested in him. How do you think he's handled his year here, and do you guys sense that he still wants to see this through?
Oh God, yeah. We were honest. Him and I had an honest conversation, and we talked. I made sure I had conversations throughout the year, periodically during the week when he wasn't playing. It's hard for a Stahl, first of all, how competitive he is and that family is, and what they've done for the league, and just wanting to be part of it. It's hard when guys sit out because you feel like you're on the outside. So we tried to include him in the meetings. He is, even during that time, I think he was mentoring off the ice with some of the guys. I told him right along, I said, eventually we're going to need you. And I wasn't going to come off as far as developing the kids, but eventually we're going to need you. And that's kind of what's happened here now. And I'm sure he's enjoying playing. There were some times I know it wore on him, but it never affected his attitude as far as coming to work each and every day.
It it's a bit ironic because I think at the start of the season, maybe some people thought you guys would be in position where you would be like selling off players aggressively and he'd be like a prime candidate to be moved. But now, like, you guys are in a playoff race. Do you think like he could have another shot at the playoffs? I'm
Sure.
sure he wants to be a part of that.
Sure, he's playing meaningful games in March, and you know, I think in Florida when they brought him in there, it was kind of a little bit of the same situation. He ended up playing over 100 games. They go to the finals, and I watched him play in the playoffs, and he was really good. Yeah, so you never know where it goes, but I knew I wouldn't, and that's why we went after him. It was kind of a mutual thing. We knew how he was going to handle the situation because we made sure he understood that you're not going to get in the way of the kids, and so he's been great that way.
As a coach, are you anxious to get this week over with and the trade deadline in the past and just maybe his styles down?
You know what? I don't even think about it. There's too much other things going on getting ready for games. I don't even think about it. And I'm sure for some players, it's certainly some players that have been out there being talked about. I'm sure it affects them. But the way the room has been, the way we've talked to them, the way we've been just so transparent each and every day, if something comes up or you want a conversation or whatever, I think that helps players. And it just goes down. I think our room has been that good, and I think it's handled this situation very well too.
You talked a little bit last week when you guys sent Cal down and brought Felix up that it was an opportunity, for Felix to kind of carve himself out a role. Did he show you enough on Saturday that he continues to deserve more opportunity?
He earns the next game when we want to play him. Yes, he does, and it's just it is what it is. I thought he played better, and he earns the next game. So then we'll see where it goes from there. We certainly haven't forgotten about Cal. I don't want you to misunderstand that. They've been playing down there together, but Sandy played better, and he's going to get the next game when we decide to put him in.
I know you're not going to give lineup stuff, but you're willing to say Erson's in net. I know goalies you're okay to say.
Erson's in, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.